Boiler cover from British Gas, sponsors of Property on 4.
For some people, the country that they're born in never feels quite like home. Debs grew up in Pennsylvania, but sensed she belonged in a land of magic and wonder, the land of her fathers. As a child, Deborah Withey was fascinated by the unusual Welsh accents of her father and grandparents.
My father was born in Bryn Mawr in the valleys. My grandparents and my dad emigrated to Pennsylvania by ocean liner. He didn't have a chance to ever come back to Wales because he died 1 week before I turned 11. And that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to see what Wales was all about.
As an adult in the late 90s, Debs embarked on a journey to explore her Welsh roots and connect with her father's past.
I just thought it was a magical place. I did find relatives. It was very much an American find your roots story that had a really happy ending for me.
Debs felt so at home in Wales, she eventually gave up her high-paid job in the States and moved to idyllic St David's in southwest Wales.
St David's is a special, magical place, and everyone who lives here will tell you so. One thing that everyone likes to say about St David's is it's very cwtch, and cwtch is a fantastic Welsh word that means sort of snuggly and cozy. It's a small city. It is Britain's smallest city. Everything centres around the cathedral.
Debs had found the perfect place to live, but finding the perfect property wasn't so easy.
Where we are, there are 3 Victorian terrace houses together, and the middle one was the one that we purchased first. But the end one became available, and I really knew that if we were going to live here full time, I needed to create a studio space. So we bought the house next door and knocked through to be able to create the room that we're in now, where I can work and hold classes of printmaking and all sorts.
Debs has reinvented herself as a successful artist. But her years as a newspaper designer have proved useful when designing her home.
My thoughts on interior design aren't that different than my work in print. When you create a page, you direct the viewer's eye. And that's what I love to do with the house. It's very much a 3-dimensional canvas for me, and the strongest tool I think that anybody has to direct someone's eye is the use of color. There's lots of tricks when you know the color wheel, like the complement of orange is blue and the complement of yellow is purple. They can make lots of disparate things work because the colors give a lot of energy. So you don't have to always be beige, you can be wild. People like to come in and it's very different than what they're used to seeing. And to me, I take that as a compliment. My favorite room in this house, I suppose it would be the living room. That one I love very much because the sun comes in the morning on one side and it comes into the conservatory, the larger part, in the afternoon. I just love to see the light hit different parts of the rooms. The windows have a Gothic shape, so they have a lovely conversation with the beautiful Gothic shaped window on the cathedral itself. I really do think of my father here because when I was a little girl, they built a brand new house and my father wanted to have a stone wall. And I never got to ask him why, but it was maybe something that he thought about as a child in Wales and how he saw stone buildings everywhere. So this has a stone wall. There is a Welsh word which, when you look it up in the dictionary, it says that it's untranslatable. It's Hiraeth, but it means, as much as people can explain, a sense of belonging. When I look out the window, I think I'll just feel really, really fortunate that we live here.